What's going on, everyone? Over the past couple of days, I've been trying to complete all of the Riddler challenges for every character in Batman Arkham City. In that time, I've become very familiar with all the characters in the game, that being Batman, Catwoman, Robin, and Nightwing. So I got the very original idea to put all the characters on a list and rank them from worst to best. I've decided to base the rankings on their gameplay as well as the overall depth to the character in the Arkham universe up to that point of Arkham City. So Arkham Knights will not be taken into account. Without further ado, let's get right into the rankings. So coming in at fourth and last place is the boy of wonder himself, Robin. While Robin is a beloved character in the Batman universe, in Arkham City, his gameplay feels the most underwhelming when compared to other playable characters. Let's break down the reasons why I believe that. Robin's combat style is based around his bow staff, which gives him a range advantage over other melee characters. However, his moveset is essentially a toned down version of Batman's. While Batman has a vast array of techniques, gadgets, and fluid combat animations, Robin lacks the same depth. Robin's combat doesn't offer the same satisfaction, and it often feels repetitive. Unlike Batman, who has a variety of special moves that add depth to his fighting style, like the ability to use the environment, multiple counterattacks, and gadget combinations, Robin's combat lacks the kind of flair. While Robin can chain together combos, they don't feel as dynamic or varied as those of Batman or even Nightwing, and his aerial and special combat moves are rather limited. The bow staff is a cool weapon, but it doesn't offer the same range of motion or fluidity that other characters get with their abilities. For example, Nightwing uses his dual sticks, or his Eskrima sticks or whatever, that allow for more acrobatic movement, while Catwoman's whip gives her both long range and close quarter versatility. Robin doesn't have a unique flair that make him stand out in the combat area overall. In terms of his gadgets, Robin doesn't have as many as Batman or Nightwing, and the ones he does share with them are not very fun to use. Instead of the line launcher, bat claw, and the disruptor, Robin gets a slow as ever and clunky bullet shield and the zip kick, which is a more vulnerable version of the line launcher, and the bat claw pulling mechanic is completely removed. The snap flash is also just a worse version of the explosive gel, which he still has, so why even add it to him? While I admit it is fun to zip kick someone off rail from time to time, Robin's overall arsenal is exposed once you play as him for over 10 hours like I have. In terms of story and character development, Robin feels like an afterthought in Arkham City. Unlike Catwoman, whose interactions with Batman provide her own emotional depth and relevance to the plot, Robin doesn't have his own narrative arc. In the Arkham City DLC, Harley Quinn's Revenge, Robin is largely relegated to playing second fiddle to Batman, with few moments that develop his character beyond being a sidekick. While playing as Batman, you experience a rich and personal journey. Catwoman provides a layered, conflictive narrative, and Nightwing gets a pass here because he's not really in the game. Robin, however, doesn't offer the same depth. His appearance in this game doesn't add significant emotional stakes, nor does it allow for much character growth. As a result, his gameplay feels disconnected from the story as there is less emotional investment in his role. While playing as Robin still provides a fun experience, it lacks the excitement and depth of other characters. If you're looking for a more dynamic, versatile, and emotional engaging character, Robin might not be the best choice for your gameplay experience. Coming in at third on the list is Nightwing. Nightwing's combat is more agile and fast-paced with his dual sticks, known as the Eskrima sticks, offering more fluid, acrobatic attacks. His combos are satisfying and can move between enemies quickly, making him feel more mobile than Robin. Nightwing's combat flows better than Robin with smoother transitions between attacks. Nightwing also has some additional acrobatic moves in combat, such as flipping over enemies or performing aerial takedowns, which adds some flair to his fighting style. However, while his moves are faster and more graceful, his combat still lacks the depth of Batman's variety. Nightwing lacks a wide variety of special moves, which means his combat can start feeling repetitive after a while. Nightwing's gadgets are a bit more interesting than Robin's, but still less impactful than Batman's. He uses Eskrima sticks to immobilize enemies, as well as the line launcher, which can be useful for quick stealth escapes. These gadgets are solid, but they, of course, are not original. The ones that are original to his arsenal are pretty cool and useful though. For example, his wrist art is just as useful as a batarang, but if you're able to headshot someone with it, it is an instant knockout. His electrical blast is also very useful, as it knocks down everyone caught in the circle, but has a long wind-up time, so if someone sees you in stealth, you could take a lot of damage. He also has a disruptor, which is always handy. Nightwing overall is fast, fluid, and fun, but his combat still feels somewhat limited. His movement is enjoyable, but his lack of diverse gadgets means he can't manipulate the environment as effectively. Still, he's much more enjoyable than Robin, with better fluidity in combat and traversal. Nightwing is not in the main game at all, and has zero dialogue in the Riddler challenges besides grunts, so he gets a fat 0 for identity in the game. But his combat and stealth abilities are so much better than Robin's, he lands at number 3 on the list.
Nice!
Coming in at number 2 on the list is Catwoman. Catwoman's combat stands out due to her fluid, acrobatic fighting style. She uses a combination of fast kicks, punches, and her whip. The whip is unique in that it can be used for both ranged and close combat. It can pull enemies towards her, break barriers, and even disarm enemies, offering a lot of versatility. Her speed and agility allows her to dodge, flip, and counter with ease. Her combat is more about speed and precision than brute force, which gives her a unique feel compared to Batman and Nightwing. Her combos are satisfying, but her combat is more reactive than proactive. Her best attacks come from dodging and countering, which feels fluid, but sometimes less satisfying compared to Batman's heavier combat style. She also is the only character who has 2 extra health bars instead of 4. I guess it makes sense because her suit is not as good, but if you aren't very good at the game, this could be a challenge. Catwoman's gadgets aren't as varied as Batman's, but she does have some useful tools. The whip is her main gadget, but she also has cat drops that can briefly stun enemies, and bowls that act as her battering and allow her to escape danger. Her gadgets are more focused on stealth and escape, rather than direct combat advancement. She has fewer options than Batman for using gadgets during battle, but her agility allows for quick escapes and crowd control. Her gadget set is designed more for hit-and-run tactics rather than sustained combat. I know this kind of goes against my past points, but I kind of understand why she doesn't have many gadgets. She's just a girl with an acrobatic background that wears a cat suit to rob places. In the lore, she wouldn't have any advanced gadgets like the other 3, so she gets a pass from me. Catwoman is by far the most agile of the 4 characters. She can run along walls, leap great distances, and climb to high points quickly. In free roam, her whip can be a little clunky, but I appreciate the minigame you have to play while climbing up a building. Her fast and nimble movements make exploration extremely enjoyable, and her ability to perform wall runs gives her an edge over even Batman in terms of traversal. In stealth, she has the ability to climb on top of certain ceilings and take enemies down from up top or down low, which adds to her versatility. Catwoman is the only character other than Batman to actually have an in-depth story in the game that shows off her character development and relationships with other characters, so she automatically is above Robin and Nightwing in that category. Catwoman's acrobatic combat are fun and exciting. While she lacks the depth of Batman's gadgets, her speed and fluidity in both combat and movement make her very enjoyable to play. She feels like a true acrobat in the game, and her style contrasts with Batman, Nightwing, and Robin's heavier, more methodical approach. However, she is still not as well-rounded as Batman, which is why she comes in at number 2. And I think we could have all guessed who's number 1. But at number 1, we've got Batman. Batman's combat system in Arkham City is nothing short of legendary. He is the epitome of the free-flow combat system that has been popularized by the Arkham series, and here's why he excels. Batman's combat flow is incredibly smooth and responsive. His ability to chain attacks seamlessly between enemies makes him feel incredibly powerful and satisfying to control. Unlike some of the other playable characters who feel more specialized in specific combat scenarios, such as Nightwing's acrobatics or Catwoman's agility, Batman has the perfect balance of offense and defensive capabilities. Batman's counter system is one of the best in the game. You can perform multiple counters in quick succession, allowing you to take on groups of enemies efficiently. The sense of control you get during these movements is unmatched. Batman's ability to interact with the environment, such as swinging enemies into walls, using environmental objects to knock out enemies, or performing stealth takedowns, makes him feel like a true master of combat. He has the most diverse and strategic approach to combat, both in terms of direct hits and stealthy eliminations. Batman has several signature moves, including his Bat Claw for pulling enemies closer and stunning them, Battering to distract or disable enemies, and Explosive Gel to destroy walls or incapacitate enemies. These gadgets are incorporated into his fighting style in a way that makes the combat more versatile and satisfying. Unlike other characters who only have a few gadgets, Batman's arsenal lets him approach every fight differently. He can disable large enemies, perform ranged attacks, or use stealth strategies, which gives him the most versatile and varied combat experience in the game. With Bruce Wayne being the main character and all, Batman is by far the most well-rounded and deep character in Arkham City. Batman's inner conflict is a major part of what makes him such a compelling character to play as. Throughout Arkham City, you can feel the weight of his personal stakes in saving Gotham and dealing with the chaos within Arkham City. His conflict with villains like the Joker, Two-Face, and Hugo Strange, as well as his struggle to save innocent lives while keeping his moral compass intact, makes his journey both emotional and thrilling. Batman's relationships with other characters, especially the Joker, are filled with emotional complexity. In Arkham City, the dynamic between Batman and the Joker is a constant undercurrent, with Joker's insanity pushing Batman to his limits, creating a truly personal conflict. Furthermore, Batman's interactions with characters like Catwoman and Alfred add layers to his persona, showing his vulnerability despite being this iconic, near untouchable hero. And I can go on and on about Batman and how cool he is, but I think you get the point. While Batman may not have the acrobatic flair of Nightwing or the sheer vertical freedom of Catwoman, Batman's movement is still one of the most satisfying in the game due to his grappling hook and glide abilities. Batman's grappling hook is incredibly smooth and allows for fast vertical traversal, whether climbing tall buildings, swinging across rooftops, or zipping around Arkham City. Batman's speed and agility are fluid and make exploration exciting. Batman's ability to glide gives him an additional layer of vertical mobility, allowing him to cross large distances quickly. While Nightwing and Catwoman may have more nimble movements, Batman's glide allows him to reach heights, escape danger, and control the flow of exploration with ease. Batman's gameplay offers the perfect balance between combat, exploration, and gadgets. His fluid combat system, alongside his impressive gadget arsenal and smooth traversal, provides a constant and rewarding experience that feels like you are truly embodying the Dark Knight. And there you have it. Batman truly stands as the best playable character in Arkham City. Now I want to know what you think. Do you agree that Batman reigns supreme? Or do you think another character deserves the top spot? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth content and other videos. I typically do platinum trophy hunting videos, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!